In the latest No Man's Sky expeditions, 3 of the milestones to be unlocked are visiting 3 of the stellar bodies in the galaxy: a red star, a green star, and a blue star system. To be able to visit any of these systems, you need to have installed the correct hyperdrive first. That can either be done on your freighter or a starship. To unlock the hyperdrive technology on your freighter, however, you will be needing salvaged frigate modules, which can be obtained by shooting cargo pods of NPC freighters or the standalone pod ships that accompany them. This will, however, trigger both NPC and Sentinel starships to enter the system and attack you. There are other ways to obtain them as well, but these have a lower chance of occurring. During this expedition, you will need 20 of these modules, as the hyperdrive for Red Star systems is already unlocked. So you only need to unlock the 2 other remaining ones. In regular gameplay, you will need 24 modules to unlock the 3 hyperdrive technologies. Once you obtained enough frigate modules, you can now unlock the technologies at the freighter bridge. Unlocking the technology for your starship is definitely less dangerous, less expensive, and less complicated. In total, you will be needing 400 nanites to unlock the 3 drives, not taking account of course the previous technologies in the tree. These technologies can be unlocked at the starship vendor in the anomaly Hyperion. An important detail that many travelers are not aware of or sometimes forget is that you do not need all of these technologies installed to travel to each color of star system. Once you install the hyperdrive that allows you to travel to the blue star systems, you no longer need the previous drives installed. The technology that allows you to travel to blue star systems, both on the freighter and starship, will make it possible for you to travel to each star system in the galaxy. So, if you're able to obtain the resources needed for the final hyperdrive, you don't even need to install the other technologies. In my experience, that makes the installation on starships easier, as you only need to obtain emerald and wiring looms. Now, before we jump into some solutions, let me quickly cover the regular strategy of how you would obtain the resources needed to install each hyperdrive. In the starship, you will notice that the installation of the cadmium drive needs chromatic metal as the main resource. Once you have installed it, you will be able to travel to a red star systems where you're able to mine the stellar metal cadmium. In return, cadmium will be used to build the emerald drive, the drive needed to travel to green star systems. There you will find emerald, which is needed to install the final drive, the indium drive. Compared with a freighter, you will need the actual resource found in the stellar system you wish to travel to. So for that, you will either need to upgrade your starship drives or find the stellar metal by other means. So let us talk about other means. There are a few ways to obtain stellar metals without stepping foot on any of those systems. The first one is by digging up buried caches. As you might have noticed in my previous guides, buried caches hold a lot of interesting content, which can help you in many ways. One of the resources in those caches is stellar metal. You can find copper, cadmium, emerald and indium there. During my test, I found emerald and cadmium in the first 15 minutes, while in the meantime I collected X-class modules, nanites and other interesting resources from it. This approach is definitely an easy and chill way to obtain them, especially at the beginning of an expedition or general gameplay. Other ways to obtain stellar metals is by either purchasing ships and scrap them or dismantling technology modules. While ship scrapping has a reasonable chance of returning stellar metals, it does require considerable financial means. I also have noticed a change in the return of resources when dismantling technology modules, so be sure to check the small letter in the information screen to see what it will return before dismantling it. Even when you just collect a little bit of the stellar metal, it is enough to get going. In my example, I collected emerald from the buried caches and I only found about 135 units of it, so it's not enough to build the indium drive, but no worries, that is easily fixed. If you have not already, it's time to unlock the medium refiner. Go back to the anomaly and find the construction terminal in the back of it. In one of the technology trees, you will find the medium refiner, which needs salvage data to unlock it. Salvage data can be found on planets as well in the buried technology modules. Once you unlocked your medium refiner, return to your base or freighter and construct it. The medium refiner has 2 input slots, which means you can now combine and craft new resources. Today we needed to expand emerald. The first thing we need is chromatic metal, so if you have any cadmium, indium or copper, you can drop it into the refiner and make chromatic metal. But in case you have not and you only have emerald, then you just drop a portion of it into the refiner. That will also make chromatic metal for you. Be sure not to refine all your emerald into chromatic metal because we still need some. Once the emerald has been refined into chromatic metal, take it and place it back into the input. Now, take the remaining emerald and place it in the second input of the refiner. Now you can see that the output of the emerald will be doubled, which means we will be making more emerald than we had before. And then again, once we have the emerald, we just use the emerald to make more chromatic metal, then use that to expand the emerald again, and so on, until we reach 250 emerald, the amount we need to construct an indium drive. Once you have 250 emerald, it is time to install the indium drive. We also need 5 wiring looms, which can be purchased in the space station. After the drive is installed, we simply head to space, open up the galaxy map, and now we should have access to all the star systems in the galaxy. The only thing left to do is to warp to each color of star to unlock the 3 milestones. While this guide was mainly aimed to the players in the Blighted Expedition, this information is useful whenever you play No Man's Sky. If you enjoyed this guide and maybe learned something new, then I would love for you to hit that like. Be sure to check out these guides on screen right now to find more answers on how to finish a few other milestones. Thank you so much for watching. This was Beeblebum. Goodbye for now.